Good afternoon, everybody. Are you all right? Hello. Okay, welcome to Crafting Together with All Brands. If you are new here, hi. If you're not, hi again. You know, because that's the way we roll. Okay, so today we're going to be doing some art journaling in our Dina Wakley Media Journal. I will wait for a few more people to jump in, and then we will get started. Okay, so whilst whilst we're waiting for a few people to join in, I will talk through the page that you can see right now. This is a page that I did last night on Try It Out Tuesday in the Be Crafty page. And basically what we've used here is Dylusions paint and a couple of new products and some Be Crafty stamps. And basically what I want to do today is, we'll go through my journal in a second, but basically I want to add not a similar page. I want to do sort of like a monochrome version over here. Hi Alison, hi Sam. Okay. Oh, righty ho, it's now working. Marvellous. Right, my comments do seem to be working for now, which is fantastic. I'm very, very happy about that. You know, always nice. So basically, yeah, like I said, I'm going to be working in my Dina Wakley Media Journal today. This journal is now getting to what I would refer to as quite a satisfactory point of fullness. I think we find a lot of times with our journals, I don't know about you, but when I start my journal, I start it, I start in the middle, and then I'll sort of move sporadically through it, add in, my pages as and where I see fit. And I think the thing with the media journal specifically is because you've got those 4 different surfaces. You've got the cotton cardstock, the linen, the craft, and the burlap. You do sort of, I think we all lean towards the white cotton first because it seems safer, and what have you. But if I was talking about this last night, if you look into my journal now, you can see the sporadic colours where the pages have been done all the way through. So with all of my journals, I reach a certain point, and it was about this point last year with my small Dina Wakley white journal that I said, right, I want it completed by Christmas. Now, as much as I want to say that, I'm worried I'm setting myself up for failure if I do that again. So, I would like to have it finished by Christmas, but, there is still quite a lot of empty pages. But basically, what I've started doing now is I'm just going to move some of these paints out of the way that I was using last night. I'm not a person that cleans my desk after every project. I know I should. Louise Sims tells me off for it. But yeah, so now I've sort of started at the beginning. And I'm sorry if you have seen this before, but I just always think it's a good refresher in case anyone sees a page they like to go back through. So yeah, so these are the doodle art stamps that are somewhere at the beginning. Then we've got doodle art mandalas and journaling girls. And then we have this fabulous one of the faces, look. Some more doodle art houses and doodle art mandalas. The newest in the doodle art range, the flowers. Okay, so this is Blooming Blooms and the Dandy Daisy, which are really, really fun and really, really pretty to use. And then last night I did this one, which has sort of brought us to this sort of linen-y page. Now, like I say, there are lots more through here. And you can find catch-ups from most of these lives on our YouTube channel. Okay, so, but it looks like for now I've got 2... linen pages in my future. This one will be quite simple. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take some of my collage medium, my matte medium. I'm going to, I could have done with some fresh water, but that's going to be okay. And I'm going to take some of my Distress Collage Medium, which is just a matte medium, which means it isn't shiny. It's brilliant for sticking things down. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a light coating all over this surface, okay? And what that's going to do is going to do a couple of things, okay? It's not going to really affect the look, because like I say, it dries totally matte, so you can't, it won't show up and it won't make it all shiny or anything. Okay, but it'll do a couple of things. Basically, it seals the surface so that nothing's really going to go through or leak onto any of the pages behind. I will still put something behind it. But also, it does make it easier if you want to stamp directly onto this surface, because it sort of evens it out a little. Don't get me wrong, it's still not going to be super duper easy or anything like that, but it does just make it that little bit easier. So I do tend to, unless I'm just generally sticking things on, which is what I did with this one. It's a bit of light paint on the burlap. But I think this is my actual first sort of the linen-y fabric. So I think it's a good idea to just sort of do a quick seal over that. I'm getting a little bit of that green come through from the back. But that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. Okay, and then we'll just allow that to dry. I will use my heat tool just to set it a little bit. Okay, and then what that'll allow me to do is it'll allow me to use lots of different products. I'm just going to grab a sheet of card here. On here, as you can see, I haven't worried massively about going all the way to the edge and all this sort of thing, because I'm going to try and stay quite central to it anyway. But I am going to use on this page, it's going to be, so this is obviously a very bright page with the rainbow going down it, and like I said, I did this last night on the Be Crafty page. This one, I'm thinking more muted natural tones, but maybe with a little bit of pizzazz. So I've got the Dylusions Black Marble Shimmer, I've got the Vanilla Custard, and I've picked up one of my Dina Wakley metallic acrylics, and I've picked up Ancient. But you could use any of the 6 Dina Wakley. I think would go really, really nice with this. It's just I don't want to completely lose the natural tone of this sort of linen-y fabric from underneath. I have to say, this linen also die cuts lovely if you do take a section out. Which I know a lot of people do. They do take signatures out of these journals and use them for other things, because they can start to get very full if you stick a lot of things on. Okay. Drying ever so quick. I'm quite pleased. Okay, you can see that has got a bit of a green hue to it where it's coming through from behind, but I don't generally worry about that too much, because there's no need to, really. Right, so I'm going to grab my, I think I'm just going to grab my 1-inch Dina Wakley brush at this point, and I'm going to grab my palette, which is starting to get long overdue for a clean. Tell you what, we'll just put that on there for now. It'll be fine. Alright, so I'm going to give my shimmer paint a bit of a shake up. Okay. We'll put my Dylusions Black Shimmer on there. And then... oh, I didn't shake that up, did I? And you can tell, because it's sort of separated a little. So let's give that a little bit of a shake up. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay. And then a shake up with my Vanilla Custard. Okay, I'm actually going to use quite a bit of that, I think. Alrighty. So as you can see on this page, we've gone very much for the straight lines for the rainbow, okay? So on this side, I'm going to have to completely do the opposite of that, aren't I? And I'm going to do some circles. So we're just going to go in with some circles. Don't worry too much about perfecting them. That's not... perfection is not something I either strive for or achieve on the regular, so you know, that's good. Go back over that one, and then that's an even number, so that's horrific. Maybe another one there. And just bring those circles into themselves. Okay, and then I'm going to go for the Ancient, this little metallic one here. Just going to work that in a sec, and again, we're going to just use our brush to create some cool circles. You can do them inside the ones you have, you know, do them over the top. Just a little bit of that edge. And that side looks a little bit empty, doesn't it? So we're just going to twist our brush round to create these circles. Okay? And then I'm actually going to get a smaller brush for this one because I want to put more of the black circles. Now, I can't see my little Dina Wakley, which probably means I've taken it into the kitchen to wash it and I haven't brought it back. So I'm just going to use this little one here. Okay, and then again using, so this is the Dylusion Shimmer Paint. So we're just going to put, so obviously we do have the real texture of the fabric. Now, obviously you can add on a lot more paint to cover that, but I actually don't want to do that. I want to keep it so that we can still see the texture of the fabric. And in places we can still see the colour of the fabric, okay? I'm not trying to completely obliterate it. Because it's just not what I want to do. I'm just going to work in some of these circles. And if they go a bit wrong, you can... I'm going to add a bit more paint to that one. It's amazing how some of them go spot on, isn't it? And then others, they're just like, why won't it work? Okay. And then I'm going to take some water and I'm going to put some of my paint in here and I'm going to create more of a sort of a wash. This is the cool thing about the Dylusions paints. You can make them quite fluid. On this page here, for example, I really wet the page first before I put the Dylusions paints on. And that's why you get that nice flooding coming out if that's what you want. Okay. Then I'm going to take this brush and we're going to add on. And because it's so... I'll tell you what I am going to do quickly. Grab a bit of paper and put it over that. There we go. We're going to add on. Now, because we've mixed it with so much water, just look how easy you're getting those flicks in there. Absolutely gorgeous. This is the sort of thing where Beverly can get very carried away with herself to the point she starts talking about herself in the third person. But there we go. Right, so we're just going to do lots of fab flicky flickies. Oh! I now look like I've got a really bad version of chicken pox. But that's alright. Okay, and I'm going to move that to the side. Where's my painter towel? Because I need to use it on me. I would show you what I look like, but that's not a good idea. Right, so I'm going to give this a little heaty. Okay? But you've got to admit, that looks cool. It's fun, it was quick, it was easy. Okay? And again, I think, like I was saying at the beginning, it's very easy to look at the, cotton cardstock pages at the beginning and think, oh, they're the easy ones because, you're used to working on a white substrate. But in actual fact, in reality, you will find that working on, for example, the craft card is actually the easiest because it's smooth, okay? And then after that, this sort of linen fabric, I would say, is quite easy, especially if you've gessoed it or you've used collage medium on it, because everything goes on there so well. And in terms of stamping on, the cotton cardstock, the white cotton cardstock, is actually one of the most difficult, which is why I layer on there a lot of times with either Be Crafty stamping paper or, that sort of thing, because it's just easier. Absolutely luscious. And then if I lift that over, you can see none of that's gone through to the other side. Alright? So this is the thing. You don't think that, you know, you have to match up your linen sides either. They can really sort of mix and match, which is really, really cool. Okay, so next we're going to go on to, I think I'm going to add on some texture paste on this one. I think I'm going to go for, ooh, I always start that sentence, don't I? I think I'm going to go for it, and it makes it very, very clear. I haven't actually decided at all. So with my circles, so I use circles over here, so I don't really, the perspective circle, so I don't really want to use that. So if I was to go more for something different to the circles we've got, about adding in some of these paint splats, I think that would be quite cool. Yeah, do you think that's a good idea? So I'm going to get my Distress Texture Paste. Hi, Sarah Lou. So I'm going to get my... And hi to everyone else that's joined in. Sorry, I was concentrating on what I was doing for a change. So I know I've missed a few people come in. Okay. So I'm going to get some of my texture paste off here. Alright, and we're going to go and add in a few of these splats. Okay, so this is the other thing as well. I do get a lot of people say, well, what mediums can I use on the fabric pages? You know, what, and all this sort of thing. All of them. All of the ones you're used to using on your other art journal pages or anything like that, you can use on the linen and burlap pages. They may, you might get a slightly different effect. You might get something you weren't necessarily banking on or preparing for, but you can absolutely use them all. And again, if you want to have a little bit more of a, not necessarily control, but a bit more knowledge about exactly what's going to happen, just prep it either with some gesso or some matte medium, and you'll be able to get a better, you know, it'll do more of what you would predict it would do because it's on a prepared surface. Okay, so although that is just 2 bits, which is something I wouldn't normally do, I am going to leave it like that because I absolutely love it. Okay, now from there, right, so this is going to have a tag on it, I think, and I'm going to go in the middle. So this is one of the Ranger tags. I can't remember because I've taken them out of the packet, so I am sorry. So it's either a Ranger Ink Essentials tag or one of the Distress tags. Okay, but you know, they're all very similar in the manila, and I just think that's going to work really well with the vanilla custard that we've used there as well. Now, in terms of stamps today, what I'm going to be using is going to be the same stamp bundle that I've used over here. I'm going to be using Journal Art Elements 3. I'm not going to use Scene. Okay, I'm going to use See Me, and we're going to be using the Handwritten Word Set 2. Now, I launched this offer last night, and this is on until Friday morning. Sorry, we're doing an offer. These stamps are usually $9.99 each, at a bundle price of $34.96. But until Friday morning, because we haven't done a bit of a dealio in a while, so we just wanted to do one. They are $24.99, and that gets you all 4, and it is a free P&P. Okay, so you can get all 4 of those for $24.99. Which is really, really awesome because they're fantastic. So that gets you the wonderful Scene, which is this one here. Okay, the Journal Art Elements 3, where you've got lots of fun bits that you can use and put together. We'll go through that a bit more in a second. And then the See Me, who is also commonly known by Be Crafty fans as Mr. Handsome or Mr. Gorgeous, I can't remember. He gets called both. Okay, and then you've got the Handwritten Word Set by Sam, where you've got 6 awesome phrases in Sam's brilliant handwriting. It's not mine. I'm not allowed to handwrite things. If you get a note in your Be Crafty order, I would say 98 times out of 100 it'll be Sam that writes it. The only other 2 times is because she's not there or unavailable, because I'm not allowed to write notes because I have messy handwriting. So, you know, I will say that if you have had a note from Be Crafty, you think, oh, that's nice, the handwriting is not mine, it's Sam's, because it looks just like that. Alrighty, so yeah, we're going to start adding some of those in. So I'm going to take this one out of the way because this is the one I used on this page, and unless I'm doing a double layout specifically, I don't want to do that. Alright, so I'm going to go to my Journal Art Elements 3, which is this one here. Move these two out of the way. Custard, I absolutely love custard, Sarah Lou. It's delicious. Sam doesn't know what she's talking about. But I will say, her husband is a custard fan. He loves it. Custard is a brilliant thing. Now, one of the most loved stamps is on this set. They're all very well loved, actually. As I'm sure is no surprise, this is Journal Art Elements 3. So therefore, there are 2 other Journal Art Elements that come before them. Which are also available on the Be Crafty website. Sammy will get you a link for those. But one thing on here that was specifically asked for was actually these hearts here. Now, these hearts are used to primarily hand draw, which is where a lot of the Journal Art Elements come from anyway. They're things I used to, the original ones were things I used to hand draw on, and people used to ask me, could I have a stamp because I want to be able to duplicate it and I don't feel confident enough. So these little hearts are something I draw in my Posca pen all the time. For example, I will be adding some white ones onto here, but I might as well stamp them as I've got the stamp with the black ones. And people like, I just, you know, and I've shown people to do them a lot, and they just like, I don't feel confident enough, okay? And so I would like a stamp, and that's absolutely fine. You tell us what you need, and we can totally do that. Okay, so Sam's put a link on to all the art stamps, to the art stamps faces section of the Be Crafty website. Now in there you'll find all the different faces we do and the Journal Art Elements. Okay, and there's a few different bundles in there as well for you to look at. But what we're going to do is we're just going to add on some of these hearts here. So you can see they're actually stamping on really nicely. I am putting on a little bit of pressure, I won't lie, because it is a textured surface. But because it's been prepped with, you know, the paint and the matte medium, it does make it so much easier to stamp on. But what I am going to do is I am going to give that a little waft with my heat tool so I don't rub my arm in it, basically. Because I'm using my VersaFine Clair, which is lovely wet ink. Okay. And then I'm going to take those little hearts off. And then there's also this little word here. You know, there was a gap, so I put a word in. And we've got art here. I'm going to take art. And again, with my VersaFine Clair. Custard's lovely, isn't it? It's great. So we're just going to put this lots of places. Almost use it as a little background stamp. Just making up part of this. Stunning. This is one of these things you don't even have to. If you're looking at this as an inspiration place of where to start your backgrounds, you don't need to put on as much on as me. I'm a very much more is more person when it comes to my art journal backgrounds. But you know, if you reach a certain stage and you go, oh, well, I wouldn't have put that many hearts on, or I wouldn't have done that many circles, then you can always just stop a stage further, okay? What we're doing with the pages here is we're trying to give you a leaping off point. We're trying to give you an inspirational point. It's not an instruction manual that you have to follow, all right? So from here, then we're going to do this sort of really fine line. It's sort of broken in different places because it's so fine. On purpose, it's not the stamp's broken. And just going to add in some more of these circles, okay? Because I think I really want to push the circle thing, because that's really what's going to separate it from the page opposite, okay? And this is what I like to do. If my pages aren't a double, again, if you've been here before, I am sorry because I am repeating myself now. If my pages aren't matching, I like them to be different, okay? So, for example, this one has got the rainbow on it, so this one hasn't got anything out of a rainbow on it. Any colours at all out of a rainbow on it, because I want it to be just And I think it also, in terms of showing off the stamps, it's a really good way of showing that even with the same stamps, okay, you can create a variety of pages, okay? And that's, you know, well, that's what we want, isn't it? We want a real versatility. That made... whatever. Right, so I'm going to go to, while we're carrying on the circle theme, if we go to See Me, now this is quite a full stamp set for faces. What I have been doing recently a lot is making sure you get a really good size face, so in your bigger journal pages it really can hold its own as well as in your smaller ones. However, in the ones where we have two sides of the face, because there is, you know, another one which is more feminine in the features, we do have Whatever Works, and again, it's got some accessories in there. So in here there was a space, so I've put these two circles here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use those to add in a few more circles. But I'm thinking what I might do is I might bring in a little Distress Oxide. So I think we're going to go for a walnut stain, but you could also bring in your archivals as well, but they're further away and I can't be bothered to reach them, so I won't. So I'm just going to go in with my Distress Oxide. Obviously the good thing with your archivals is you don't have to worry about they're going to move if you're going to do any water techniques afterwards, okay? But this is quite cool, just to add in another circular element. Bring it all in. Alright. I think the background is full. What do you think? Yeah. Okay. So, now it's time for Mr. Gorgeous. I feel like that's too big. Okay. Now he does have, you'll see, he has what would be his left eye. If you want to draw in the other side of his face, or you could even do almost like a comic book Two-Face type thing. You know, there's lots of different ways you can draw it, which is really, really cool. I'm thinking. Right, let me lift this out of the way a second whilst I'm having my thought process, because what we're going to do is we're going to sort this tag out. Move my bullet journal out of the way. That was there just to keep my page supported last night. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll take this side first. So I'm just going to go and grab my Super Skinny Slims. Now, I know lots of you have been waiting for some of these to come back in stock. We now have all of the Super Skinny Slims back in stock. You can find them on the website. Okay, so we've got, and like I say, the See Me bundle is definitely the most inexpensive way to buy things for the next little while. I mean, the bundles always are anyway, but obviously at $24.99, you're getting 1.5 of the stamp sets for free. So, right. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to stamp him up with VersaFine. And I think what I'm going to do is almost do the stamp set, but on this tag. Okay. A little bit further down. We'll just have a little flex just to make sure all those details come out. And there he is. On there. Okay, and then I'm going to take the smaller one. And I'm going to ink that up. The VersaFine Clear. Mr. Gorgeous. And then we're going to put that a little bit further up here. I'm trying to put his goatee in a place where I'll cover up that smudge I've just made with my finger. which it did. Excuse me. And then we're going to use this little strip of sort of marker dots in between. The two. Then I'm going to use these circle stamps. And with the squares we were just using, but whereas it goes square, circle, circle on here, I'm going to do it so it's circle, square, circle. Because I want to. Okay, so I'm going to put them there. We're going to ink them up on here. And then I think we'll do our See Me. Here. Or don't you just do See? Okay. I'll put that there. Okay, and then we're going to heat set. Okay, because we're going to do some distress techniques with the walnut stain ink pad we were using. So I need that VersaFine Clair to be really dry. Find it back out. Not that it really matters because of what I'm about to do with it. Okay, now from there we're going to take our tag, okay, and we're going to go into a ball. And then we're going to open it back up. Okay. And then I'm going to do it again. And then I'm going to open it back up. Okay. Then we're going to grab a small blending mat because that's the one that was nearest the top. I'm going to get my walnut stain on here. And we're going to give that a bit of a spritz. I'm going to push that in. Where we're going. Okay, now Ranger tags on the whole are really good surfaces. They will not absorb, you won't get the pilling or anything like that, but obviously when you break the surface, okay, you're allowing the water to go beneath the surface of the tag, okay, which is why you get the more defined areas where you've crunkled it and scrunched it and things like that. Okay, then I'm also going to get my walnut stain and we're going to go around the edge. And we're going to actually go a little bit over the top to make some of those breaks a little bit darker. Okay, a little bit more on that one maybe. Okay. And then I might just give that a little spritz again. Spritz, spritz, spritz. And you can see some of that colour's starting to wick out again. Where's my heating board? Because my hand's starting to get hot when I heat. Okay, so this is my heat drying board. It's a non-stick craft sheet attached to a wooden board. It was actually a wooden shelf. It was a wooden shelf. And I use this for heating things on, for doing direct sort of like embossing powder techniques, so I can create things like that, creating glue dot embellishments, all that sort of thing. I don't blend on it because it's brown and I don't think you can always see the colours properly. So that's why I don't blend on this, and I use a Beecraft blending mat. Okay. So we're going to take him on there. So Sam's put a link on. It says to the blending mats, but that will also take you to the non-stick craft sheets if that's what you are looking for. Alrighty, so I'm going to get my Posca pen. Right. I'm going to add in a little bit of white right here, because just to make that eye stand out. Also a little bit over here. Okay, and then we're going to get our book back. Okay, and then I'm going to go in, because that's also giving it another little chance to dry. I'm going to add in some of my Posca heart. Oh, it hasn't dried that much. Okay, let's go on here. There we go. Just to add in a little bit more. Add in some of that. Just some little white highlights. Okay, and then Mr. Gorgeous is going to go about here. I think I might plank him straight in the middle. Or should I go to the right side? Because that's sort of... No. He's going to go... He's going to go there, I reckon. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. So, back to my collage medium. Okay. And we're going to take a nice scoop of this and add it to all, as daft as it sounds, to all the sticky up bits, because they're the bits that we're going to be sticking. It's okay. Give it a little bit of coverage. Okay. And that'll almost just use the weight of itself. I don't want to get rid of all those crinkles, obviously. Okay. Now, over here, this one's been lifting up, so I'm actually just going to use a little bit of collage medium. I've been doing that all this afternoon. Over here, you'll see these fantastic words. Now, these are a brand new product we launched last night. We have been made, well, I think we're all aware at the minute, it's not always possible to have everything we want. So Sam came up with a fantastic idea. One of our favourite stamp sets to use in terms of words is small words. And as we were putting together a new set of small words phrases, what Sam wanted to do was make them slightly more accessible. If you don't know how much you're going to use, so therefore you're a bit reluctant to do the stamp set. So what Sam did is she created these, oh, not that, these stickers, okay? So these are the Be Crafty Wordy stickers. We've got Wordy stickers and Wordy stickers 1 and Wordy stickers 1B. Okay, so these are the white and these are the black. Okay, they are stickers. However, using them on a textured surface, I do use collage medium as well. So we only launched these last night. They're absolutely fab. They're so much fun to use and they're really, really easy. You do have a couple of happy birthdays on there, just in case that's what you need, and a couple of everyday. But aside from that, what it is generally is a lot of the everyday sort of things me and Sam say to each other. So some of them are a bit sarky, and some of them are quite funny. Build a bridge and get over it. That's 2 separate stickers, so you don't need to use those together if you don't want to. I may be wrong, highly unlikely. That's Sam a lot, shall we say. Stop procrastinating. You know, it is what it is. Are you new here? And I like my dog more. Sam says that about pretty much everyone, which is true. Talk is cheap. The time is now. Go with the flow. So there's lots of fun things to put on there. Okay. So like for example on here I've put not for everyone. The time is now. No dream is too big. Aspire to inspire. I'm nice mostly. It is what it is. And not today, Satan, which is one of my favourite ones. Okay. So these are the really cool ones. And these were the first ones that sort of led to me for this one. But what we'll do is we'll find a couple of the white ones to go on here. So we'll go for... Ooh. Go for... I kind of like, on here, Sam's put off you go and I'm here for you. I kind of like the idea of putting I'm here for you. Off you go. That's quite good. So, I may be wrong. Highly unlikely. Okay. So like I say, because it is textured surface, I'm going to put a little collage medium underneath. And obviously you can put a bit over the top as well. It's not going to smudge. Alright. I may be wrong. And then we've got highly unlikely. Okay, so I'm going to put that underneath. I may be wrong. Highly unlikely. And that's very Sam. Okay. And again, I'm just going over the top with the collage medium because that will just seal it and protect it, which is superbly easy. Now, so if I just lift this out of here. Okay. So you can see, in fact, no, I'm going to leave it underneath because otherwise the green there can be quite confusing. So you can see I've used the same stamp bundle, okay, and the same stickers. Let me just push that up a little. So you can see both together, but they're really different pages in terms of layout. Okay, so I hope that's very much inspired you to do some art journaling today, whether you're feeling very colourful or not. You know, you can choose either or because they're all good. And thank you as always for joining me. So yeah, so like I say, this page is on the Be Crafty page if you want to catch up with that. There's loads more lives coming up in Crafting Together, which are great fun. We would love it if you could subscribe to the Be Crafty YouTube channel, because it all helps basically. And if you know you are looking for some creativity inspiration later on this evening, Sally is on the Be Crafty page at 8 o'clock. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me. You're absolutely brilliant. Bye.